This is TWiT.
The big news to me was Qualcomm posted one of those comparison videos. Remember when Microsoft used to do this with Edge, and they would compare it to, I don't know, Chrome and probably Firefox, and they'd have the counters going, and Edge would always win, and oh, how we laughed. Well, they did one of those for AI accelerated tasks using Stable Diffusion and GIMP, generate one image and then generate multiple images. And depending on the, I guess we'll call them a benchmark or the test or whatever, I think it was like 3 to 10. The Snapdragon was 3 to 10 times faster. Separate from this, if you're, and again, there's some caveats here.
You're comparing two totally different chip architectures. Like
Stable Diffusion has been optimized for the Qualcomm chipset for a long time. They did go to the effort of making sure each piece of this was as optimized as it could be.
But ARM is also a short instruction set. Like you're literally saying, "Hey, I was going to make an apple pie, and then I tried to make a pie with this orange, and it wasn't that good."
Look, all I'm saying is, it may not be the most common real world test. You know, we use browsers and word processors and things like that, and we'll see what that looks like. But it is a workload that is comparable, and I part of it is no doubt that they've had this lead, but asterisk, they used an Intel Core 7 i155H, which is not the highest end version of that chip, is a 165H.
But wouldn't have made a difference for these numbers, really.
Probably not. No. I think optimization is going to occur. Intel is still the world's largest producer of PC microprocessors by far, so that will happen. Now those things are out en masse. I think they were talking about hoping to have over 100 million AI PCs out in the market by the end of the year, which seems great. But just, for those people out there who are fans of Windows on ARM and really want this thing to succeed, I also would point out that there have been leaked benchmarks for Geekbench, and honestly, this chipset's looking pretty good. And the way I described it, because I just kind of went and looked at numbers, is whatever their scores are, single and multi-core, they outperform the Ryzen 9 7940HS and the Intel Core Ultra 7 165U, by the way, just barely. But they're not just sort of in the ballpark. Like if you said, well, if there was 80% of the performance, that'd be great. No, they actually outperform both those chips. So it is very close. It's a single digit percentage close, but it's interesting. Comparing it to the Apple silicon chips, which we have to, I would say that, or I did say, I am saying, single core, they're comparable. Higher end M2 and M3, not so much. The M3 Max outscores it by probably somewhere in the order of 30% single core, and I'm going to call this 50% actually multi-core.
But also, again, you're another apples, oranges, and bananas comparison now. Yep. M2 and M3 are these highly integrated chips with all those different processor units inside of one bay.
But I see, to me, I think
what Intel does.
All right, that wasn't what I thought you were going to say, but I would say those are high-end, very expensive chips, and
without a doubt,
Snapdragon X Elite targets thin and light laptops, right? So this is the first of what will be a family of chipsets. There'll be higher-end versions. It in some ways is not fair to compare them head-to-head in that way, but then again, I bet the most M3s out in the world today are in laptops, right? I mean, I know they're $5,000-$6,000 laptops or whatever those things cost, but it's still interesting. And for some, we don't know what these are going to cost. Unfortunately, the Qualcomm stuff has been premium PC so far, but thin and light.
The brilliant play for Apple in this scenario is, it's a scalar workload for a large language model. I got a processor for that. And that's the thing, right? Is it has the advantage of it has dedicated workers for different kind of workloads, where Intel's still essentially a long instruction set pipeline, and certain workloads run brilliantly on it, and the hip and sexy ones for the moment don't.
Yep, but again, to customers, I mean, those kind of arguments, like whatever, I just want the thing that's best, and the thing that's best doesn't always mean the thing that runs fastest in a benchmark. In fact, it almost never means that. But there'll be a number of factors, and we'll see.
Yeah, I do think
I'm glad they're competitive.
Brilliant piece of marketing. I want Windows ARM. I'd love to have that machine. I don't know. I think it's the Windows team that's struggling to really go deep enough on getting all those instructions mapping well to really have ARM run great. It's a lot.
I think, and I think part of it is it's a different world today. It's not like Microsoft can say, we're doing this thing, everyone's standing in line behind us, and app makers like, we're
whatever.
Good. It runs an emulation, fine. We shall see. I am curious.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, Leo Laporte. I hope you've enjoyed this little snippet from Windows Weekly. If you want to see more and want to catch the whole show, you can subscribe in your favorite podcast client or visit our website, twit.tv/WW. And of course, there's links right below me.